Good morning, team. I want to put together this little presentation to help explain to you the process changes we're making for our QC and warranty review report formatting. We will no longer be using the PalmTech software for any types of reports. In the past, we used the PalmTech just because of the wow factor, because they presented very well to the customer. But now the new feature has the ability to not only attach pictures to each specific line item, we can now print those reports and the pictures show up. This was not a feature that was available in the past, and Buildertrend has since updated that feature. I want to show you a little something here to tell you the reason why we're making this change, besides the fact that the current process will not work for 1,000 homes, which is the main process here. So let me go ahead and pull this up for you on my display. Okay, I sat down and gave it a lot of thought, so I laid out the pros and cons for both the PalmTech report and the Buildertrend to-do report, and there's some specific areas that I looked at which helped me make this decision. One is the presentation of the report. I mentioned a moment ago that the main reason why we kept using the PalmTech report for quality control inspections was just because of the way that it presented to the customer. Very clean, sharp-looking report, and it communicated to the customer how many areas that we actually looked at and inspected. So that's the reason why we kept that. Well, now we have that same feature with Buildertrend. With the to-do, the fact that we can take the pictures helps make this report that much more presentable. Okay, and report generation process, of course, the PalmTech is very easy. We don't have to be connected to the internet or anything to do that. Although we do have to be connected here to Buildertrend to do this. The Buildertrend connectivity feature has been pretty reliable, and if we ever do run into some issues, we can deal with that on a case-by-case basis. But basically, this is the best way to go now. PalmTech might be slightly easier to generate the reports, but with the upgraded functionality of the Buildertrend to-dos, we're perfectly fine with this process here. And here's what really was the deciding factors, if you will, here. Item assignment. With a PalmTech report, we can give clear item assignments, but we have to generate a PDF report, download it, and attach it to either a to-do item for the project manager to manage, or in the warranty case, we have to attach it to a warranty claim or a purchase order. Then our vendors or whoever is doing the work has to print that report. There's several steps in the process just to get that information, which is not efficient. Myself, when I'm processing this, it takes me a lot of time to process this. I'll have to get the reports now, and my guys from the field upload them to Buildertrend, and I have to download them, open them up on my PalmTech software, and on average, it takes 30 to 45 minutes for me to process one report. That's just totally inefficient, especially when I'm dealing with, on average, 140 to 160 claims being out there at one time. Now, with the Buildertrend to-do, once the inspections are done and the pictures and notations made on the line item, done. The reports are done. They're already in Buildertrend, and they're good to go right there. That doesn't require any editing. Of course, the warranty manager will still review them before assigning that to the customer and assigning vendors. But it's just very easy to do. And as everybody knows, we can click Assign Checklist Items, and we can assign a specific vendor to each item. And that's very efficient. Just by looking at one place, you can just click it. You don't have to create any purchase orders or anything until after the work is done. It's just much more efficient. Customer access, the same thing with the customer and for the vendor here. Both the customer and the vendor can just access the to-do itself. All the line items are numbered. And for the customer, when we want them to check that off, they can check off each specific line item when it's done. And they can also go up and just check the Mark Complete box, as we do with all other to-dos we ask the customer to use to manage various processes or phases in construction. Same thing for a vendor. It's easy for us to assign that to the vendor. And now the vendor can print that to-do up, which will show the pictures and the line items, will show who's assigned to that item, give it to one of their technicians to send to the field. So it's just as easy as it was for them to print up the PalmTech report to give to their guys to go out to the field. So that feature does not change for the vendor. In regards to vendor management, Same thing. It's much easier for us to manage the vendors this way instead of going back and forth between purchase orders, warranty claims, and whatnot in multiple places to try to manage the vendors. Let me pop back here again. I want to show these things. You can see how I have totally eliminated anything up here for the Palm Tech report from item assignment all the way to 1,000 homes, because the Palm Tech report does not do these things as efficiently as the to-do will. So if you see this, the Palm Tech is very much outweighed here by these critical phases of managing these processes. Vendor management and tracking and reporting is very easy on the to-do, which I'll show you in a moment. All we need to know is who the project manager was for the QC, who inspected it, and the date inspected. And once the customer marks it complete, it's easy to track the critical information we need. And most importantly, this process will work for 1,000 homes. The Palm Tech report will not. Right now, currently, we have to download a separate software. So now we're using two separate systems to try to produce these reports. Each guy in the field, each of my QCMs has to have the software on their laptops and phones and tablets, and they have to upload the report to their computers to do their editing, then upload. It's just a cumbersome process that worked up till now. But as we grow and we bring more staff on, we're bringing the new warranty manager on, we had to simplify this process and find the most efficient way to cover all these areas, all this criteria. So right now, let's go ahead and look at one of these to-dos. I've got the template already created. I've started loading them over. And this to-do will be attached to the quality control inspection schedule item, just like anything else. Let's give this a moment to load here. Okay, let's pull this down. And this is what the to-do for the quality control corrections list will say. Dear customer, during the recent quality control inspection performed on your new Diani home, the below listed items were noted as needing corrected to meet or exceed the Diani Homes benchmark standard. Your project manager will make all noted corrections below and have you mark this to-do as complete in the upper right-hand marked complete box when all items are done. Please do not mark this to-do as complete until all items are done. And this will be linked to that appointment. And I've already preloaded, just to help eliminate a couple steps, 30 line items. Hopefully we won't have that many, but this will keep you from having to create that checklist item, and at least will eliminate one step in the process for the inspector when they're out there. And then if they have to add more, they can. And they can add files to each checklist item. They'll be able to assign people. Although the QCMs won't do the assigning, that will be up to the project managers for the QC. And when we use these for the warranty manager will assign that. But this is a much easier feature for the project managers. They can assign the specific vendor. They can follow up on this. They can check up on it. They can call the vendors and communicate with them. Actually track this, because the project managers to date had the same cumbersome process as anybody else when they were trying to look at the QC items. They had to open up the PDF, and if they couldn't print it, scroll down on their phone or tablet to try to find specific items. And that's just not efficient when you're out in the field or you're communicating with a vendor trying to see something. This way, right from your phone, you can open up that to-do and look at it, talk to the vendor and the customer, and determine what things are done. And the same thing for the customer. They can communicate easily. If something's on there, mark it complete. Project manager gets this, and he goes right here and he gets the item. It's just a very efficient process. Down here on the bottom of the to-do is where the QCM does the inspection. He'll note who the project manager is, select their name and the date. And when they're all done with this, it says once the QCM has completed the QC inspection, he will assign the customer and project manager this to-do and save the to-do. That's it. And once he saves it, the customer gets notified, QCM gets notified, and you're good to go. Now, one line item that's not on here that I have put on here, and this is based upon our new, let me just show you from the template here. This is based upon our new policy about trying to get some consensus. And this will be on all the preloaded QC to-dos. The first line item will say, and this is how we get acknowledgement from the project manager that he's been given an opportunity to review these corrections. Okay. Still thinking. All right, you'll see what I've added here. The very first line item will say, I, project manager, have reviewed this QC corrections list with the quality control manager. That will be assigned to whoever the project manager is for this job. And then all that project manager has to do, once it's been assigned to him, is click that, and it'll show that he marked it off. That's his signature and or acknowledgement that he has reviewed this list with the quality control manager prior to the customer receiving this report. Okay, that's important as we work toward building consensus between the customer care department and the production department in all regions, guys. It's just very simple. There's no extra steps which we would have had to take. I had created a signature line on the previous QC report. It's just cumbersome. We're adding steps to the process that don't need to be there. We're all very familiar with to-dos, how to use them, how they function, and this is just so much more efficient for all involved. Okay. Now I know my QCMs may be thinking, wow, it might take me a long time to go out here and do these reports. No, it won't. You're going to be totally eliminating the time you had to spend on the end by uploading and editing your reports and all of that. And I'm going to show you an example here. I'm going to use a customer care to do. Let me go over here and open this up. Okay. And we want to open this one. Let's make this a little bigger, guys, so we can see it. This is just a little demo I had did. And this is for the 30-day reviews, which we'll be pre-scheduling. Okay. But when you're doing a line item, this is all that will be put on there. And ignore the B and the W. That's for warranty. All we have to have when we're doing QC is a simple statement. We need a minimum of one picture, preferably two. One picture that shows surrounding items so we can generally locate the correction we're asking for, and a smaller close-up picture indicating the specific area that we're requiring a correction for when needed. And just a simple statement. I know this ain't a cabinet door, but replace warped kitchen cabinet door. See marked photo for location. And it says cab drawings attached. This is for a warranty thing. And you can grab all these documents, stick it in there. And if this was a picture of the cabinet would be there. Then you could just put an X on the particular cabinet door, and you're done. And then you can see in this instance, I've assigned it to Shannon Payne Framing, which is our test vendor. And down on let's look at number 2, picture, replace faulty doorknob on master bedroom entry door. Color selections, dock attached. And then I told them to deliver the new doorknob to Deani office, attention warranty manager. That's more than enough information. We don't necessarily have to put the condition. We're just telling them what we want corrected in order to meet benchmark. We're making the trade-off here in the former reports, the PalmCheck reports. We had an unlimited amount of characters we could put on a line item. We are limited how many characters we can put in this to do, but if we're efficient with our experience, we can make this work. There's more than enough information here for anybody, the vendor and the customer, to understand what we found to be wrong and what we're going to do to correct it. Okay? Here's another simple explanation here. Garage cold, I meant to say water. Garage cold water spigot, very hard to turn on or off, repair, replace. So you can see this is what the report will look like as well when the vendors print them up. This is a picture of a printed copy that I have. Of course, this will have the QC information in it up here, but they'll have the description, the line item, the description, and the pictures. So that's actually going to help the vendors as well. And then everything can be managed from right here. It's just very, very efficient. Okay. All right. I think that's about it. Let's go ahead and go back here. Hey, there I am. So, guys, that's going to be the new process starting today, which is Monday, 420. I'm meeting with Scott Lechner and Phil Clevenger here in about an hour to go over all these things with you. I'm sure there'll be a few questions moving forward. The good news is we are all familiar with how to use these to-dos. And by making this change, it's just going to benefit everybody. This process will work for 1,000 homes. It simplifies the process. And management tools that I just showed you on the pros and cons of the PalmTech versus the to-do far outweighs the PalmTech and says we need to be using the to-dos. So again, I'll be available for any questions you might have. And I think that everyone is going to be pretty excited about this process change, especially you PMs out there, because now you can just punch that button and assign that vendor and manage it from there. Okay. All right, guys. I think this is about a 5-degree change. You guys be blessed. Stay good out there. Signing off.